Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to answer some of the most common videography related questions I get. I've also organized them by topics. You can find them listed below the video. If there's a specific topic that you would like to check, just feel free to skip ahead. Now without further ado, let's dive into the first topic, which is gear related, and these are the most common questions I get. Number one, Tom, what is your favorite camera to shoot with? Well, it depends of the situation, what I'm shooting, but to answer shortly, I would say in terms of image quality and usefulness, so to say, for my style of shooting, I would pick Canon C200 because I can get raw image quality and I got the great autofocus in a cinema camera. And for YouTube, I would use Canon R. My wife is filming right now with the Canon R, and when I need something smaller than Canon C200, I would go with the 1DX, and sometimes I also like to shoot with the Sony a7 III. And the next most common question that I get is, Tom, what camera should I buy? Should I get a Canon, Sony, Panasonic, Fuji? No. Well, to answer shortly, I haven't used Panasonic and Fuji enough. It's not field tested enough for me to give you an honest, constructive feedback. Mostly I shoot on Canon 90% of the time, and sometimes I use Sony. So to make your decision easier, here are the things that I like about Canon and Sony, and then it's up to you to decide what fits your needs the best. So for Canon, I definitely like the high quality touchscreen. I like the menu because it's super simple to use. I like how durable the camera is. You know, it will survive rain, snow, hot weather. It's not going to let you down. The build quality is amazing. I also dropped it on the floor, and yeah, you know, camera was fine, just a few scratches, working with no problem. So if you need a super reliable camera, Canon is the way to go. Also, you get great out of the camera colors, so if you need a quick turnaround project where you don't need to do a lot of color correction, Canon colors are amazing to work with. And also the autofocus is, in my opinion, still the best on the market. Well, Sony is getting really close. It's, if not even better in certain situations, so really congrats to Sony for making their autofocus so good. And the other things I like about the Sony is the in-body image stabilization. I also like that there is no crop in 4K. You got the exposure tool Zebra. You got amazing low light performance, and I also really like the codec, because what I don't like about the Canon is that, yeah, you get great colors and the RAW and everything, and the C200 is amazing, but the file sizes are so huge. Now, of course, no matter what brand you choose, the more you pay in that specific brand, the better camera you will get. So yeah, just like start with something that has 1080p, 60 frames per second, more than enough for posting online, and then if you need a better camera, just rent it. Next question is, what lens should I buy? Well, you need to ask yourself, what do you need it for? Do you need a wide-angle lens for landscapes, for vlogging, for shooting real estate? Do you need medium focal length for portraits or situations like this, like interviews? Or do you need a zoom lens to be able to zoom into the subject, which comes useful when you're shooting events and you want to capture people's emotion without them noticing that you're filming them, or for capturing wildlife? The number one lens that I would recommend you to buy is the 24 to 70 millimeters focal length, because it enables you to go pretty wide on 24 and then zoom into 70 mm, which is perfect for filming humans' faces. For Sony, Tamron, how much is it? 28 to 75 f2.8 is a great cheaper option to Sony G Master 24 to 70, and for Canon the 24 to 70. And also Tamron is, I would say, 95% as good as the Canon glass and a lot cheaper, and it also has image stabilization. Next question is microphone, and now no matter what microphone you choose, just keep in mind that you have to have it as close to the source of the audio as possible. So for example, if you have a microphone on top of a camera, it's good for vlogging because it's gonna be like half a meter away from your mouth talking. But if you are filming an interview and the microphone stays on top of a camera 3 meters away, it's gonna be a lot of reverb, and the sound quality is not going to be as good. So you will need to have microphone placed on a boom mic, on a C-stand, meaning over the subject, so you will keep the microphone close. Or you can also use lavalier, like I'm using right now. You can also use stickies to hide it under the shirt, but make sure that you're always monitoring the audio with the headphones. And the ones I prefer to use are Rode microphones. And regarding the lights, don't go cheap with lights. They will have green tint in them. It's gonna look disgusting when you're buying lights. Let them have at least 95 CRI, which stands for Color Rendering Index. I think aperture is the way to go. I bought this pack. I still have it. It's super transportable. LED lights don't get hot. And for when I need a stronger light source, I would go with aperture 120D and 300D. And of course, if you have the budget, go for RE lights. Next topic is the camera settings. Now for Canon, picture style that I usually use if I film with DSLR or mirrorless camera is either the neutral profile, where I have sharpness and saturation all the way down to 0, and then I have saturation -2 and color tone 0. This is when I'm trying to color grade it to go for a specific look, but if for a quick turnaround project where I only do basic correction, I would shoot in standard picture style with the contrast and sharpness all the way down, saturation 0. And if I shoot with Canon C200, I will shoot RAW and edit in C-Log 2, which is either 10-bit or 12-bit, depends of the frame rate that the video was shot in. But for the Sony a7 III, what I would do is I would shoot in Cine 2 Gamma with Cinema Color Mode. Camera settings for interview. Shoot in 25 or 24 frames per second, depends of if you're living in NTSC or PAL video system country, so check that out, because if the lights are flickering, probably you're using a wrong camera setting for frames per second, or you just need to play with the shutter speed. Because Canon's codec produces huge file sizes, I usually shoot in 1080p, especially for longer interviews. But if I'm shooting a promo video or something like that, where image quality is a priority, then of course I'm going to shoot in 4K or higher if the camera enables it. Always set the white balance manually, learn kelvins, learn this chart, memorize it, don't shoot in auto white balance, and try to match the kelvins with the lights that you're using. So if your lights are 5600 kelvins, set your camera's white balance to 5600, unless there are artistic reasons behind it and there is a specific look or vibe that you're going after. Camera settings for run and gun filming. So when I'm filming events, I will usually shoot in 50 or 60 frames per second, sometimes even 120, because I'm not always sure if I'm gonna slow down the footage or not. So I just always try to, for run and gun film in higher frames per second. I will usually shoot in 4K to get the image quality, sometimes 1080, again it depends. I will also always use autofocus unless they are really quick movements, like for example, I know where the autofocus cannot follow, or if there is a specific movement that I'm trying to capture, for example a close tight shot of someone picking up a glass, and it's when my hand comes in the frame and then moves away quickly, the autofocus cannot follow, so I will then grab manual focus. And I know that a lot of videographers shoot only with manual focus. They create amazing videos. The reason why I shoot autofocus is because a lot of times I use Glidecam and gimbal and I don't have a focus puller. So again, it depends what kind of vibe, what kind of art you like. So it's always remember, art is subjective. Next topic we're going to talk about is business. The number one question I get is how to get your first clients. It's like that, you will get clients once your skill is good enough. So you have to start creating videos as a passion, for a hobby. I would suggest posting at least one video per week on your social media, letting everybody know what you're doing, and then eventually somebody will approach you and tell you, hey, can you do a video for me as well? And that is the sign that your work is good enough. Now, of course, you don't have to wait for that to happen. You can actively start reaching out to people and pitch them your video ideas. And I would suggest that you start with people from your social network, from people who already know, like, and trust you. Just say, hey, I really want to make it as a videographer in the video industry. Let me do one video for you for free. I promise you I will do everything to make this the best video as possible, because it's in my interest to make it really good. And that's how you start. Then you start making cheaper videos and the snowball effect starts. And another thing I would suggest you is, when you're pitching a video idea, try to be specific, try to solve a problem that specific business has. So do some research in advance. Just don't be just like, hey, I'm gonna make you a cool video. No, say, hey, I've checked your website, I've noticed you don't have a promo video of your business explaining who are you, why do you love your business, why do you do what you do, how can you help clients. Like, let's make a 2-minute video explaining that. It's gonna help you drive more sales, save you more time pitching ideas to other people, etc, etc, etc. So you can see where I'm going with this. If you want to make it in the videography or photography world, you need to learn how to market and sell. You need to learn online marketing and selling. And then the next question is how to grow your business as a freelance videographer. To answer shortly, your videos need to produce results to your clients. That's the number one thing, the most important thing that you have to realize. Your videos have to get people results, maybe help them get more sales, save their time, promote an event, show emotion on wedding, so people say, wow, this was an amazing wedding, I feel so emotional when watching this video. So this is the result. You created a good video memory for that couple and family, and then someone will see this and they'll say, hey, I want this person to film my wedding as well because it showed the emotion so good. Or hey, I want this person to film promo video of my product as well because the last video drove so many sales, etc, etc. And then the other thing is you have to be a good person to work with. It's so simple. People need to feel good around you. You need to help them be comfortable in front of the camera, especially if they are not used to be. You have to be on time, you have to deliver what you promise, you have to over-deliver, and two things will happen. They will start recommending you to others and they will stay with you. I have clients with me for years, and you know, you're gonna get tired if you're always gonna be jumping around chasing new clients. Recurring revenue is what grows business. So having clients stay with you for years. And to give you a strategic steps you can take is choose your niche, build a portfolio in that niche, and then just do a great job and make sure everybody knows about it. So post your work on social media regularly. Now we are just scratching the surface here. There's so much to learn about business, so if you have any other questions, please type them in the comments below. And I've also created an online course, Filmmaker Begins, in which I teach you how to create videos, how to edit videos, and also the whole business aspect of freelance videography. You can check more info below in the video description. And to move to the last topic that I want to talk about is the FPV racing drone. So FPV cinematography is what I got myself into in the last year, and it has been and still is a humbling experience. It really is about the journey, not the destination. Learning how to fly is quite a challenge. So for those of you asking me how to start, buy a controller. This is a controller that I recommend at the moment, and buy a simulator, start practicing for a few weeks there, and then the next step is you will need to do a lot of research online. The information are scattered all around the internet. So what I would really suggest is to find someone who knows FPV, who is a technical person, who knows how to build and repair drones, so he can teach you. Because if you just buy the plug and play solution, you know, the drone that's ready to fly, and you crash it, it's game over, because you will not know how to repair it and you will crash it. That is a fact. Definitely be patient because learning how to fly it's hard but so rewarding. At the beginning I started because I wanted to get those cinematic shots, but now I'm really enjoying just flying for fun, you know, like turning my brain off, just enjoying and flying. So I really suggest you get into it. I think the drone cinematography future is definitely in FPV racing drones, because it enables you to capture the world from such a unique perspective. Now, this was quickly it. I don't want to make this video too long. Comment below if you have any further questions. And yeah, can't wait to see you in the next tutorial.